It's fascinating to me. I just love the stories. I love the stories about, how early was it important for you to start planning? You started planning at 50-ish. How that made your transition retirement smoother, and what were the concerns as you hit retirement? And now that you are retired, how's everything working? Well, Duane, thanks for coming in and spending some time with me. I know this is a little bit strange, coming in and talking into a microphone and some cameras.
It kind of is, but thanks for having me, Russ.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. So when you retired, it's been almost 2 months to the day.
Almost 3.
Is it almost 3 now?
Yeah.
I thought end of May was the official end, right?
Yeah.
But when you retired, I thought I wouldn't get any more of those early 7 a.m. memes anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's been fun to still get those.
Yeah.
So,
well, you'll keep getting them.
I think we have set the record for the most memes shared between an engineer and a financial planner.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. I had to back up all my texts the other day, and there was over 500 pages of memes that we've shared back and forth over the years. Ooh. So
Tell me when I need to slow down.
I just thought that was super funny. So, well, I'm thankful the time that you took to come over. We go back a lot of years, and we've worked both professionally with each other. And while I'm no longer working with you on a professional level, I'm grateful that we can sit down and share some fun stories, especially the stories about you and your journey as you just recently retired from the Idaho National Lab. And I guess the best place to start is really kind of where you grew up and what kind of made you into the person that you are. So I'm really interested in kind of, where did you grow up and what was home life like, and how did that kind of shape you and being who you are?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Livingston, Montana. Family of 7 kids in a pretty small house. Kind of at that time, Livingston was a blue-collar town, railroad town. My dad worked for them and everything, and so I thought we had everything, but we didn't have everything. But I thought we did. Yeah. But anyway, so it was a good place to grow up.
So your dad worked at the railroad?
Yes.
So that's a hard job.
Yeah, that was.
Was he gone a lot?
He was gone quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So did he travel the railroad itself, like an engineer driving the train, or what did he do for him?
Yeah, he was a conductor.
Oh, a conductor.
Yeah, traveled to Helena, to Livingston to Helena, and Livingston to Laurel.
Yeah.
So my mom had to contend with seven children.
7 kids. Where do you fall in line with that?
I'm the baby.
That makes a lot of sense now.
I'm a twin, but I am the baby.
Yeah. Did your dad ever talk about stories? Because I've heard stories from conductors. I had a neighbor who was one once, and with the snow we get in the winter, a lot of times the elk and the moose and some of the deer would find their ways onto the railroad tracks for easy passage, as they're traveling places, and here comes a train and there's nowhere to get off the railroad. Did you ever talk about any of those horrible?
Not too much. He took us.
Things?
He took my twin brother and I on a route one time, a short route, and we figured that out. That's not the career we want.
Yeah,
but it was good for the family.
I actually know a guy who there's an entire group of people where they buy these little, I can't remember what they're called, but they're little teeny box car with an engine, like a little gas engine in them, and they might have a place for like 2 people to sit, and they run the railroads around here still. And there's like a little group. It's like bring your little railroad car, and you get permission from the railroad company, and then you guys do like a little 20-mile stretch on the railroads.
Yeah. I've done that before. So
really,
I mean, with my father.
Yeah,
I've done it once. That's okay.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Anyway, so 7 kids, twin brother. Where's your twin live?
He is in Mesquite. And all the siblings are retired.
That's hot.
That is very hot.
My sister lives in Bloomington, just by St. George, and she's complaining about the heat.
Yeah,
right
I have
now.
an older brother down there as well, and so their main thing is to get out there in the summers if they can.
Yeah. So 7 kids. How much older is the oldest than you?
14 years.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Kind of space all the kids out by 2 years almost, huh?
Yeah.
So that's a big family, though. And you guys stay in touch pretty good?
Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent. We have a wedding coming up here in a couple weeks out in Virginia.
You said a black tie wedding. Got to dress up.
Got to dress up. Got to look fancy, which is different from Idaho weddings.
Well, I'm just glad that we both have pants on today.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
Yeah.
So when you grew up, 7 kids, Dad worked a blue-collar job. What are some of the things that you learned as a kid that just kind of helped shape who you became and as an adult? Anything that sticks out?
Just all the, my mom she was a religious person, so she hauled us all to church every Sunday, whether we liked it or not. And I think, looking back on that, that was a very good thing to do, was to have her introduce that morality and everything into our lives and stuff. And
You feel like that gave you like a foundation?
Yeah.
And a code kind of to live your life by?
Yeah, I think it did. And then we didn't, I thought we had, everything. We fishing spots and no cell phones, which was really nice. And just, it was a fun life growing up.
So we didn't have a whole lot either. My dad was a school teacher, then he was a principal. So he was always an educator. Was in the military for a while. But we had 4 kids. Grew up on a little hobby farm in southern Utah. Didn't have much as a school teacher. Mom stayed home. Mom kind of really tried to, always kind of an entrepreneurial spirit with her, either selling vegetables, selling fruit. We had a lot of fruit and vegetables, big gardens, big orchards, making clothes, sewing stuff, teaching tap dance. And so there was just, everybody tried to pitch in to kind of make a living. But, I think when you grow up, you just have what you have. You don't, you might know that your other friends have the designer shoes and designer pants, but I don't know if you really realize how poor you are compared to somebody else when you grow up.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's similar to me in my life. So, what led you to a career as an engineer? Where'd you go to school, and kind of why did the interest lie in those ways?
Well, I had an older brother that was an engineer. And there was an architect in there, and so my twin brother and I, we looked at that engineering as a career because we saw my older brother Doug starting out making $17,000 a year, and we thought that was, my folks paid that much for our house, and we thought, well, that's a good start on our life and everything.
Yeah.
So we just kind of thought, well, that's a good career to go into.
Yeah. So you had some goals. You had a role model.
Yes.
In a brother.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who kind of helped shape a little bit of your path forward.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was super helpful. And then where did you go to college?
Went to school at Montana State in Bozeman, Montana.
Is that where you met Sharon?
I did. I met her through a mutual friend that I went to high school with that roomed with her in Eastern Montana College in Billings. So we met our freshman year, but we didn't start going out till later on our senior year.
Yeah. Played hard to get.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. We both feel just really lucky that someone would pay attention to us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank God for Sharon.
When you got your degree and graduated, kind of where did your career go from that point? Was it right into the government work, or was it in another engineering group? Kind of where did you go from that point?
I started off at Boeing in Seattle.
Okay.
In 1988. And we were there for 3 years. And then I got a call from a friend at the National Lab here in Idaho Falls, inquiring about an opportunity. And my mom was battling cancer at the time, and both Sharon and my families were in Montana, so we thought that's a good step to get closer to family. So we came out to Idaho Falls in 1991 with the thought we'd only be here 3 to 5 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have goals to go somewhere else?
Well, we eventually wanted to go to Montana.
Back to Montana
and actually retire there around the Bozeman area.
Gotcha. It is so pretty, but it's so expensive now.
It's expensive.
Yeah. It's turned into a little resort community, and it's really expensive.
So 35 years later, our kids are here, our grandkids are here, and our friends are here, and now that I'm retired, we can travel and see family.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, did you like Boeing? 3 years at Boeing?
It was
mostly
decent.
Aircraft?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was the B-2 bomber.
Okay.
I was on that project, manufacturing engineer,
yeah.
And I'd say it was a good place to be from. It was not a family-friendly job. I was 6, 7 days a week working, and
Oh, geez.
and recently married, and then starting to have a family. So, when I came out to Idaho Falls, I thought this was part-time work.
Your 40 hours.
Yeah,
is
my
part-time.
40 hours was part-time work.
Yeah. And the Idaho National Lab's certainly been a good career for a lot of people here.
Yeah, it certainly has.
You're early enough to get a pension, and they had a pretty good 401k savings plan, and over the career, I think you enjoyed your job pretty well there.
Yeah, there was some self-induced stress at times,
Yeah.
but I had changed jobs, and then I got my professional engineer license, and that was a little trying there for a while. But
So you got your PE after working at the lab for a few years.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of work.
yeah, so that was.
Now, were you still in manufacturing engineering when you
No,
came here, or did that whole?
It was just a whole career
Whole
change.
career
It
change.
was facility operations,
Okay.
mechanical systems.
So mostly mechanical engineering
Yep.
at that point. And then when you got your PE, the career path stayed in the same mechanical.
Yeah, but I was in design engineering at that point.
Gotcha.
So able to stamp my own drawings and be
Yeah.
responsible for myself.
No, that's awesome. So, you had a really long career with the Idaho National Lab, and enjoyed it there. Had a pension, had saved well. When you started there, and just kind of had the 401k and had the benefits packages there, I mean, how much help do you feel like you got early in your life to say, you know what, Duane, you need to save a certain amount of money, or you need to make these kind of adjustments so that you can retire? Did they provide a lot of help with the, internally at that time?
I didn't get a lot of help back then. I started saving in 1986. I had a broker at that time, so I had a little bit of experience in that stuff. But
Yeah.
the lab looked like a good savings plan.
Mm-hmm.
The Vanguard. I noticed they had a pension, but I really didn't think anything about that because that was
So far down the road.
it was so far down the road. But now that's a major boost.
It is. It's huge. You having Social Security and a pension and a 401k kind of gives you a three-legged stool of income to rely on, and it's stable. It's just there till it's gone, until you're gone.
Yeah.
So it's nice having that guaranteed source of income. When did you, speaking of the pension, because I know several people who left the lab and didn't think much of their pension, left the lab and kind of terminated the pension because they left the lab. And then when they're rejoined, they have a better 401k savings plan at that point. I mean, more match, more aggressive company match piece to it. But they kind of really didn't realize just how much that pension would have been on their retirement. So when did that really start to resonate with you, like where you're at financially?
I think it really kicked in probably in 2015 when we actually started with a financial planner.
So you're still late 40s.
Yeah, around 50.
Around 50.
Around 50. Maybe a little bit earlier than that when we started to get the pension calculators and you started plug in the numbers, what happens when when I retire at this date or whatever. And it became apparent as I kept on there that was going to grow and grow until I retired.
Yeah, and being an engineer, you're, not very used to working on spreadsheets. So I imagine you had a hard time putting together a few models that you relied on over the years.
Yeah, I'm a pretty old-fashioned guy. I'm still on the sticky notes and engineering pads.
Yeah.
So the spreadsheets, my kids are really good at that. But I just started to analyze things and
So around 50, you really started to get more interested in where am I at? What are my resources? Am I saving enough? What's that going to look like down the road? And at that time you had a broker before that, but then you started to work more heavily with a financial planner at that point, it sounds like.
Correct.
And how helpful was, going through that information with a planner about, what did that income look like when you retire?
Well, it was tremendous. If I back up on all our experiences with brokerage firms, they didn't give us and this is probably didn't speak for all of them, but the ones that we had gone through, that was just purchasing stock, selling stock, and not really giving you an idea of your entire financial plan.
Yeah.
And we felt, nobody cares about your money more than you do. And we felt at times that we didn't have the trust in them that they did.
Yeah.
Until we got a financial planner, and then I think there's just a different degree of wanting to, to manage people's, finances throughout their entire life.
Yeah. Yeah. And being in the industry, that's kind of what I see too is, and I think there's a lot more financial planners than there ever were. But it was just, that I'm an investment advisor. So, I take your brokerage account and, we will invest in these stocks, and the stocks are often on a pick list from a company. And, me as an individual, there's no way for me to understand all 3,600 stocks that are out, companies that are out there. And so you kind of rely on other people to help disseminate information. And in a brokerage firm, when it's just purchasing stocks, here's your hit list and here's some of those stocks to purchase. And then the industry changed into, lots of mutual funds, and then changed into ETFs, exchange traded funds. And so it's been a lot of fund management that's been changed over the last decade or two, which is an interesting shift. And there's a huge shift back into owning individual stocks again with separately managed accounts and having more control over what you're actually invested into. Still getting the same cost structure as like an ETF, real low cost structure, but actually being able to manage individual investments. But I think your sentiment's probably the same experience as I had early on. Is most of the investment advisors were I'm just going to manage your account. That's it. We're not going to talk about your income needs. We're not going to talk about how Social Security meshes with your pension and managing that long term. And for me, I've always been in the financial planning area of it, and the whole focus. Investments are really important, and you need to produce a rate of return, and you need to do a good job with the investments, because that is the foundation of people's retirement. But your heart is really around making sure someone's okay, that they have the spending that they need, and they're if I have a spouse that passes away, that they're taken care of, and there's that widow's tax penalty out there, that I've lost a Social Security check, I've lost a standard deduction, my tax bracket shrank, and now I'm likely kicking up into higher tax brackets, and how's that going to impact the accounts and drain them faster because I'm paying more in taxes, and I'm pulling more out because I don't have the Social Security. And did I do a 100% survivor benefit on the pension, or did I take half of it, or is it a single life pension, right? So all of those things are just important to know and to walk people through. And I think that's, for me, that's where my heart is just making sure people have a very stable and happy golden year experience, and they survive. And then just on the back end, working very diligently to make sure that all the investment and all the pieces are in place to make that happen. And so I think that's the focus. It's not is really the life piece of it. So I'm glad that's kind of what you kind of experienced too there. So you started 10 years, 50 years old, really starting to get an idea of what you had and how the retirement was going to work. But you also had some plans to kind of build that last final house, and you had some plans to do some things right at your retirement date. How did some of those goals both work out and not work out, and some of the challenges around some of the things that you wanted to have at the time that you retired?
We always wanted to kind of upgrade our home. So Sharon had gone out and looked at some property at one time 7-8 years ago, and we ended up purchasing a lot with a beautiful view of Idaho Falls, and we thought that was kind of expensive then, but right now that turns out to be a pretty nice investment.
Yeah.
So we got that paid off, and then we wanted to build and make sure we were complete with our build before retirement for sure, just to know where we're at. But that kind of went awry there. We had COVID.
Yep.
We had the building costs go up. We had interest rates starting to go up. And then turns out we didn't vet our first builder as well as one should.
Yeah.
And so that turned into a 2-year fiasco. But fortunately, we had our second builder came in, and he was a godsend. And we got done with that. And along the way, to have that financial plan to be able to plug in projected mortgages and see where we were long time was a great benefit.
There was a lot of stress for you at that time, if I remember right.
There was quite a bit of stress.
So, we had almost a doubling of construction costs during COVID. And I think you sold your house before you kind of got finished with the other build. So the appreciation that you would have received on the house that you lived in wasn't necessarily transferable to the new property. And that I think hurt a little bit. And did that going through the what you planned on having as a final mortgage is more now than what you originally planned on. How did that change retirement a little bit for you?
I think kind of revealed to us with our plan when was an optimal time to consider retiring based on what that mortgage ended up being.
So it made you question a little bit, do I retire at 60, 61, 62? And then running a lot of models, like income models, going, okay, well, if this is the mortgage, here's my expenses, here's what the pension is, Social Security, all those pieces. How does that impact our budget on a monthly basis if I retired at 60 or 61 or 62? So that's the modeling you're talking about.
And it was earlier then too. I mean, there were times where I thought, the market's going up. I'm out of there at 55 or something, and then it went to 57 and 58, 59.
Yeah.
But as we got with you, Russ, you never directed us on Duane and Sharon, you need to retire at this date. You revealed the numbers and let us make that decision on what we were most comfortable with.
Yeah, I think that's important. It's really easy for a financial planner to turn into a dictator and say you just need to do this, this, and this. And I think it's really important that because there's bias that gets put into there, that you just say, here is pros and cons of this action. Here are pros and cons of this action. Here's what I would look at. I mean, this would be my preferred choice, but these are the pros and cons of all your choices, and doing an educational process of just revealing the numbers and what those things look like, because it's your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we wanted advice all the way along on everything, but I think to look at the spreadsheets and where we're at various times and what our income needs would be in retirement, I think it was, it just revealed to us when the right time to retire was, and I think we made that a good decision there.
Yeah, and you've been enjoying yourself. Sounds like you're tan.
Thank you.
You got quite a healthy tan on you.
Yeah, a few times on the river does that to you.
Yes, I shared some pictures of you on the river and just floating, not fishing, just floating.
Yeah,
I need to do more of that. Just not because I was like I was saying, it's like I think Kara would like the river more if I wasn't so focused on pounding the banks with a fly line. Can you keep the boat straight?
Oh, Sharon really loves it, and the kids love it, and I've been getting them out to where they can eventually take it out on their own.
Yeah, and your kids, they're close.
They're close. They all live here.
3 kids?
4 kids.
4 kids, that's right. And I think the picture you had was 2 of your boys. Or who was, when you went fly fishing with them?
Yeah. Daniel and Adam.
Daniel and Adam.
And we just went out Sunday with Adam and his wife and Andrew and myself.
Yeah, so 4 on the boat.
Yeah,
that's a big crew on a drift boat. So
did
you get a 2-seat middle seat?
2-seat front seat.
2-seat front seat, and then then a driver and a
in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of time. I always said when you buy a drift boat, you become a professional rower.
Yeah.
And eventually, I'd like to catch more fish.
I really actually miss my drift boat. I had the drift boat for years. I bet I've taken 100+ trips down the South Fork. And been to Montana a few times. Not as many as I'd like to up into there, but you do become just the professional rower. You take people out and, you try to teach people how to row, but it just doesn't catch on real quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's on purpose.
It's it's either counterintuitive as an excuse,
As an
or
excuse.
they just plain want to fish.
Yeah. So, but then I bought that jet boat, and that was actually a lot of fun because we could put all of the camping gear, and we could take a bunch of people up the river, camp on those little camp spots that you can only get to by boat, and just be there in minutes, and just then anchor off into some pools and fish the riffles and the edges of banks, and so that's worked. But there's just nothing like having no motor and just starting at Conant or Fall Creek and just float in the river. And the canyon is my favorite spot. Like, it is so pretty. My favorite trip ever, and this is funny. So it was a fishing trip. It was me and my friend Bryson, and it had just snowed like 6 or 7 inches, and I want to say it was November, maybe early November, and we're like, let's go fishing. Let's go hit the river. And we're like, all right. One, we froze to death, and it was cold, but the whole canyon, everything on both sides was just the trees. The pine trees were green. But there's 6 inches of snow on everything, and it was just there was nothing out there, and the river was moving. I don't know, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 feet, a second. So it wasn't moving real fast, and it kind of was snowing us a little bit, so you had this like almost snow globe effect going on, and we didn't catch nothing. We got no fish, but the water was so clear you could see everything in the river, and it was just a slow, gradual float down there in the winter. I wish we would have brought like a buddy heater so we had a little heat source in the front of the boat. Lesson learned, but man, it's such a pretty river.
Yeah, I've got to get down that canyon. I've not done that yet.
You've not done the canyon?
No.
Yeah.
We'll do that next year.
Yeah. Well, you have questions. Yeah, I'd love to go. I'd love to go get the old Orvis back out.
Yes.
I haven't fly fished once this summer. Took the boat out a few times, but it's been a lot of work getting the new business set up and going again. Yeah. So when you got to, your planning was all done. You felt like, the income projections and all the things, all the goals that you wanted to accomplish. You're in your house now. It's new. You got the yard landscaping things that, you still have. There's always things to do in a new house, but you're getting close to retirement. You're like a year, maybe 2 years away, maybe it's 6 months, but you're getting closer to that time. Did you start second guessing your planning? Did you start second guessing choices? Did you feel just super comfortable with where you were at? Like, did the planning really do its job in helping you get the anxiety out of your life? Like, how did that all play in together? And how'd you feel as you're really getting now? You've been through years. I mean, you start at 50, right? You've been years of working through that. Like, how did you feel when you're getting close again?
It was kind of odd. I've got some friends that have retired recently, and some of them were very nervous. And I wasn't nervous at all, and I'm still not nervous because that plan, I look at it probably every day.
Do you really
but
still?
That plan just tells me.
This amount is not what it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah. That tells me where I'm at and everything. And it's kind of surprising that I really wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
I think I would have been had I not had a financial planner and doing it alone, and how much do I take and what routes I've got. But, since then we've, estate planning. We're doing long-term care planning.
Yeah.
Just everything is all together, and we can see how it's working. And Sharon understands it, and I understand it, and we feel really good.
That's awesome. So it really did help just kind of illuminate all the dark places and chase out any of the fear and anxieties that other people may have faced that you weren't facing.
Yeah. Especially during the home build, and then getting closer and closer to retirement.
Yeah.
Because we set a date, and we met that date, and
life's just been good.
Life has been good.
Just, like stepping off a plane. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm sleeping, and the stress is being lowered, and I'm trying to work on health, make sure that I've got some healthy years to enjoy my grandkids.
Yeah. And you have 2 now?
Three, and 1 on the way.
Yeah. And the
in
last one
February.
is it a year ago the last one was born?
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly a year. And one more on the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a
So
blast.
do all your kids have kids now of their own?
Just my daughter. She'll have her third.
She's the
and
one
then
producing
and
right
then
now. Just the daughter.
And then the youngest boy, Adam, is and Alyssa. They have a beautiful daughter, Mabel.
Yeah, that's fun.
So
Kara's really, really anxious for grandkids, and my kids aren't close to marrying anybody yet. So she's taken back up to tending the neighborhood kids. She's, when I met her in college, like one of my biggest priorities was I want a spouse who really is going to be an amazing mother, like above anything else. Like that's what I wanted out of a spouse, and man, she's been that times 100. So
yeah,
so she's awesome. She loves kiddos.
Yeah, I think
So,
we have the same thing. Sharon's awesome wife of 38 years and a grandmother. Man, those
and
grandkids
she
love
was
her.
able to stay home most of those years.
Yeah, quite a bit of those years.
Yeah.
she had worked various at in-home daycare, and then she went to a medical doctor, worked there for a while, and then just before COVID, she stopped that, and then we've just been enjoying life.
That's awesome. So didn't have a lot of the anxieties. Kind of walked right into retirement.
I think one big thing with me is my job didn't define me. So the people were the most important part, and the friendships and stuff. But the actual job, it was a good job for me. I don't miss it.
Yeah,
because
that's an interesting comment. Your job didn't define you.
I've got self-worth no matter what. So I feel that I didn't need a career to do that for me.
Yeah. So when you were putting in long hours, because you worked long hours, you worked hard at the site. Did you have to focus on like, I need to make sure I have date nights. I need to make sure I'm spending weekends with the kids and doing those kind of things. Or is it just, we just were able to make that happen? But was there, like, did you have to focus on making sure that you were present more?
Yeah, when the kids were younger, we definitely had to have our date nights because, 4 kids, they consume all your time and your thoughts and everything like that. So we made sure we had the date nights to keep the marriage alive and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I hear from a lot of people when they retire, sometimes it's more from the spouse, but you have a lot of time away, and a spouse that may be a homemaker that's raised the kids and spent a lot of her time there, but it's kind of her sacred space and time. And now all of a sudden you've got this person that was working 40, 50 hours a week that's home all day and every day now. And sometimes that's an adjustment, like where you kind of clash a little bit inside of each other's personal time maybe, and personal space inside the houses. And with you spending a lot of time with making sure you're doing date nights and you're making sure that you're spending time with the family, did you feel like you had much of an adjustment when you retired with spending more quality time together?
Not really. I hear of friends that are like, well, this kind of interrupt my my golf playing or my other activities with the guys and stuff, but it didn't really impact us at all.
Do you still have your own hobbies and she has hers? Or is it like, we're just each other's best friends and we just spend all the time with each other?
Yeah,
like, what is it for you guys?
We do that. Her hobbies, I think she likes the flowers and stuff like that, and the grandkids especially. So she spends a lot of time with them. I need to eventually probably find a day-to-day hobby. I didn't really want to retire to a TV or a computer. So I've got to have some of those. So far this summer I've been really busy, but I can see in the winter where I'm going to need to find some things to occupy the day to day.
We always got those hockey tickets.
Okay.
Did you guys ever go with me?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I remember now, 100%. Yeah. And it's
you were a different guy at that game than I recall.
Those refs, I'm telling you.
Those refs, they're terrible.
Man, we had a good time.
Yeah, we sure did.
I got you to say a lot of things. Say this.
A couple more times, you might be embarrassed of me.
Did I tell you that, like, I think it was the week after, maybe a couple weeks after that, I'm yelling at one of the refs. I mean, because it's just some bad calls. And the usher, because we're right there next to the stairway, he comes up and he kind of gets mad at me a little bit because I think I said the D word. I said dick. It's like, this is a family-friendly environment. You can't say those words. And I'm like, do you listen to the music that you guys play? And anyway, so he came up and gave me a hard time. And then when he turned back around to walk back down to his spot, some of the people around us heckled him. Man, he turned around like he had some kind of like he was going to do something, right? Like, I was like, he's like, are you? Anyway, it was really funny. So he got really upset again. And I was like, it wasn't me. And then he went and got security and had him stand there for the rest of the game. I thought it was pretty funny. And I was like, man, I didn't swear. I just said dick. So there's a lot worse things getting yelled at and said in that arena, but it was pretty funny.
Kidding.
So I've calmed down quite a bit, though, trying to, keep the blood pressure lower. So, but it was last season was really fun. So we actually went to Ogden when they won the Mountain Division Championship game because it was a series. And we I can't remember what it was. We lost one there and came back 1-2, and then we had to win another one there, and we didn't. And so we all went down to Ogden to watch the game, and they ended up pulling off and win. And oh my gosh, that was really cool. And then to see them go to the Deneen Cup and win just clean sweep, won every game to bring home the Deneen Cup. That I don't know if it's ever been on this side of the Mississippi. Wow. So yeah, this I think the opening game that's in 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, but one of the games I think it's the first game they're going to do like the banner reveals and show off the trophy, and it'd be kind of fun day.
Well, if you think about it, invite me if you would.
Yeah,
Sharon's never been to one, I don't think.
Yeah, she was sick.
Yeah,
she was sick.
So
you
you
brought your least favorite son with you, I think is what you...
Let's see, which one was that?
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Nice. No, we had a really good time. So, so you worry about staying active in retirement and not turn into a couch potato, but how do you, summer, there's a lot of things to do in Idaho, and you've been to Montana a few times, and you've gone to a wedding, and how much time do you and Sharon spend sitting down looking at community events? Like, oh, look, there's the Ammon Arts Council, there's the Idaho Falls Symphony, there's the arts, the whole art community in Idaho Falls, all the plays and the Mountain America Center and all the stuff that comes in there. Do you guys
we need to start doing that. We've just been busy with everything and going every single weekend. And also, it's kind of nice now. That's kind of odd. It's actually going out camping and fishing and doing other things during midweek when nobody's out. That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
In retirement.
Yeah. The rivers are calmer. There's not many people on there.
But when things kind of slow down, we get into the winter. Yeah, we need to be looking at the events around.
Well, I know everybody makes fun of me for ice fishing, but I really enjoy it.
I'll go with you.
I really enjoy it. Because, you get the hot chocolate, you get your chair, and then we bought this system that actually is like sonar. You can see the fish swimming around your sonar, so it's like playing video games. You got your little jig there, and the fish come, and you see them swimming in now. You don't just see this like beep, beep. You actually see the fish swimming around now. So
that's got to be cool.
It's a lot of fun, So, we either make sandwiches or go out for burgers after we can get bored, but... Mm-hmm. It's just something to kind of break up the monotony of the winters around here. And I've never been a snowmobiler.
Yeah, so. I've not either. We cross-country ski. Sharon skied all her life, so. But, she's a skier. I'm a lodger.
Yeah.
But we do go out and cross-country ski and hope to do that.
And go hit the hot huts up in Island Park.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a few of those. You've done that?
Yeah.
That sounds fun. I wonder if Kara would do that. That sounds fun. So... let's see. I don't know if I have a whole lot more that I kind of had on a list of things. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sure is.
So now that you're retired and you're finding activities. What kind of is any changing of goals that you kind of look down the next 10 or 15 years? You're like, you know what? Now that we're kind of here and kind of see where things are at, and most of my kids are here, like anything changing down the road for you?
You know, a couple of weeks after I was done in May, I set up a list every year of the travel vision we had till I'm 70. You know, just to kind of.
So you got a list.
We have a vision out there. You know, it's ever changing and stuff, but you know, we have some things to look forward to on travel with not just Sharon and I, but our family.
That's awesome.
People think that's a little bit anal, but you know, it gives us kind of that vision to.
Yeah.
You know, and some things to look forward to, and.
Yeah, you've mentioned it a few times, but it's like I'm just an empty nester now. Like my kids are finally gone, and you know I miss them like crazy. But you know, my whole life was spent around just the weekends around. Okay, we're going camping, we're going fishing, we're going to do this, we're gonna. You know, it was all built around some activities around that. Now they're kind of in college, getting their own lives kind of together, and it'd be nice if they were closer to home. But I would imagine. I mean, Trey's trying to become a medical doctor, so that's kind of his path, and Ashlyn, she's going to Peru on a religious mission right now, so she leaves in a couple of months. She'll be gone for a little while, but I kind of wonder if my kids will be anywhere close. But it almost seems like with your kids as close as they are, it's turned back into, you know, bringing in your kids and now your grandkids into just spending a lot of time doing the same things that you were doing when you were raising your own kids. Like, let's go back out and let's hit the river. Let's go back out and go camping. Let's go see, you know, Yellowstone. Let's go see some of the national parks and do some of the travel listings, and you wanting to bring your kids along with you. So,
yeah, I mean, Sharon and I talk about it a lot. We're very blessed with the 4 kids being here.
Yeah,
because we thought, you know, what are the chances of all 4 kids ending up in Idaho Falls?
Yeah,
and they all did, and they all love being around family.
Yeah, and are they all in their own careers now? All of them,
yes,
out of school, all in a career.
Mm-hmm.
How many are now engineers?
Two of them.
Two of them followed your path.
Two of them followed the path, and
then
obviously they didn't listen to me around the kitchen table when they were young. But
yeah, you're like, be a railroad engineer like Grandpa. Don't go down and be an engineer.
But three of them are at the INL. They've got good careers, and my daughter's a nurse at Ermac.
Does she like doing the nurse at the big hospital?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. My daughter's worried. She wants to be a nurse. So my son wants to be an MD. Ashley wants to be a nurse. But both of them worry about working at a big hospital, and you know, you just a number pushed around, too many patients, not enough time to care.
Yeah, there can be some exciting times there.
Yeah,
I think.
But she, for the most part, enjoys.
Yeah, because I asked my daughter if you think about working at a private office, and no,
really,
that would be too slow.
Huh. So she likes the more fast-paced environment.
She likes more fast-paced.
Yeah. Ashton was kind of wondering, like years ago, she started talking about wanting to be a nurse at a cancer clinic. And I'm like, you realize that's a hard one. And she's like, why? I'm like, because you treat somebody for a long time, and then a lot of your friends pass away because, you know, some get cured, and that's miracles.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't.
Yep.
It's just it's a really emotional job.
Yeah, nurses are special.
Yeah, they are.
Very special.
So, well, what's the later for today? You got lunch, and you got to get planned up to get to your black tie affair that's later this week. And
yeah, in a couple of weeks, I've got a niece getting married out in Richmond, Virginia. A little fun time out there.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I keep pushing off my chore list. That's a nice thing. It's not all saved for the weekend.
Yeah. Coming out today made you get out of bed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. No, I really appreciate you coming. It's fascinating to me. I just love the stories. I love the stories about, you know, how early was it important for you to start planning? You started planning at 50-ish. Well, how that made your transition retirement smoother, and you know, what were the concerns as you hit retirement, and now that you are retired, how's everything working? I mean, it sounds like everything has just really gone outside of the house issue. Really just like clockwork for you. Just it's all worked out because you really sat down and thought about how this all work, and everything is just the way you wanted it to.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It has. I mean, if there's any kind of fear at all, I'd rather not wake up immobile at age 77 with a bunch of money that I didn't spend in my 60s while I was healthy.
That's a really good point. You hear people talk about 100% success ratios when they run these models. And, we want to be 100% successful, like have no chance of failure in our financial plan. So you run these Monte Carlo analysis and it's like, it's 100%. And what you start to realize as a planner is what that means is you have 100% chance of underspending. That's what that meant. And
I bet.
And so, not having something that's 100%, no scenario is going to make it so that I don't run out of money and I feel 100% confident. There are some goals out there that can be done. Do we want to travel more? Do we, as you get closer to mid-60s and into 70s, that plan starts to shrink for the timeline that it has left. And certainly I think a lot of people have a plan to give money to their kids as the beneficiaries, but they don't necessarily want to underspend. I mean, they want to enjoy retirement. So I think constantly looking at those plans, constantly looking at your goals, adjusting to new desires, new wants, new needs. Maybe you want to do more charitable work. Just constantly adjusting what those things look like and having those dynamic models available so that you can kind of see how does that impact us. And just staying in contact and having that constant relationship long term, I think is really important because then how is this going to impact us? Mm-hmm. So anyway, well, I think we'll call it quits. I really appreciate again you coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to love it.
Yeah.
So appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Russ.